What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Latest on Sports podcast. Today, we have another special guest, current coach of the Bengals, former NFL player and entrepreneur, Colt Anderson. Colt, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing real well. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come on our podcast and just talk a little football with us.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure.
All right, we'll just jump right in. So how was your recruitment process when you were coming out of high school?
Oh, sure. It was interesting. You know, I really only had two offers. Maybe three. So Montana Tech, Northern, and Western all offered me. But, you know, deep down, I always wanted to play at Montana or Montana State.
Yeah.
I grew up a Montana fan. And however, initially, Montana State was recruiting me a little harder. You know, I did a recruiting trip, and they offered me to walk on, and then I did a recruiting trip over at the University of Montana. I just felt a little more wanted there at the University of Montana. It was Bobby Houck's second year, and just so happened that his brother Tim was sitting in his office when I was on my recruiting trip, and he told Bobby and my dad to leave the room, and he and I sat in Bobby's room for about 30 minutes, and he just told me his story and how he was a walk-on too, and that he was planning on coaching with Bobby, and he was going to give me every opportunity to play. And so, you know, just having him kind of walk or kind of have do the same thing I was about to do, and tell me that he was going to give me every opportunity just felt right. And so, obviously, it worked out, and I'll forever be grateful, you know, to him and his brother for giving me an opportunity.
So growing up a Montana fan, that was kind of a good scenario for you, kind of a little bit of a dream scenario?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you know, I had two uncles that played at Montana, I had two uncles that played at Montana State, and, you know, it's hard not to be a Grizz fan. I mean, all the success they had, you know, the stadium, the fan base, it doesn't get any better.
For sure.
Talking about, keep going. That's all you.
All right, so obviously you started out as a preferred walk-on, then finished your 2008 season with 129 total tackles, which this year that would have been one short of leading the FBS in all safeties. So how did you work your way from a preferred walk-on to such 2 solid years at the University of Montana?
Sure. You know, it really started off the field in the weight room. You know, winter conditioning as well. I knew I could play football. It was just a matter of getting stronger and faster, you know, and then just catching coach's eye and showing them that I was willing to do whatever it took to get on the field. And, you know, whether it's special teams or defense, whatever the coaches wanted me to do, I was going to do it. You know, I really just took the weight room, started taking it seriously, and started seeing some growth, and the coaches saw how hard I was willing to work. And so ultimately, that's what gave me the opportunity to get on the field, was just my work ethic off the field.
For sure.
Sure. So you said about the stadium, and I want to go back to your high school days. If you were to just describe Naranche Stadium in one word, what would that be?
Ooh, that's tough, man.
It is.
Gosh, in one word?
I know, you got to try.
It's epic, dude. It's just
epic. That's a
good one.
For sure.
All right, so...
Yeah, I actually didn't play there.
You didn't?
We practiced there. We played freshman football there at JV. We had a stadium down at our middle school called Bulldog Memorial. It has the track around it. So if you ever did track, you'd run track down there, and
Gotcha.
the field was inside of it. You know, we just didn't have the home field advantage. You know, the stands and bleachers are you know, set back from the field, and you know, we always heard the stories about Naranche. How, you know, my dad played there, and all his friends. You know, you talk about home field advantage. That's
sure.
You know, when they were redoing the stadium there at Naranche, they wanted to get a little Montana flair to it. So you see some similarities with the cement walls and just, you know, if you look at Naranche and then you look at Washington Grizz, there's some similarities.
Very.
It's true, man. The home field advantage is a big deal in football, and BU High has that.
Absolutely.
For sure. So what was the best lesson you learned while at Montana that helped you get where you are now?
Sure, just not take anything for granted, and you know, just outwork your opponent, outwork yourself. You know, and anything's possible.
Gotcha. So what did you get invited to, if anything, after your senior year at college?
Yeah, so there was some talk that maybe I get an opportunity to play in the NFL, and I figured, what the hell, let's try it. And after my senior year, I got invited to play in this all-star game called Texas First Nation, which was down in El Paso.
That's awesome.
There's probably 3 or 4 all-star games, and there's the Senior Bowl,
Yeah.
the Shrine Game, which is East Coast Shrine Game.
Yep.
And then I think the one I played is probably the third one. So, we had a lot of talent in there. We had guys McCourty twins were on my team.
Really?
So,
That's interesting.
there was good talent, and so I ended up playing in that and got some exposure. And, I wasn't drafted coming out.
Yeah.
I signed on the practice squad with the Vikings and stayed there for a year and a half. But, it was probably the best thing was getting my feet under me and then kind of learning the NFL lifestyle from not from the practice squads.
Yeah,
For sure. So to lead off of that, what was that undrafted free agent process like? We researched and we saw that 10 teams reached out to you, and being so young and having so many teams that want you, you've got to feel a little bit good about yourself. And what kind of led you to your decision? I mean, obviously when you're young, there's money that's attractive. Was there like coaches or former players that you wanted to meet up with the team that you signed, or what kind of influenced you to sign with the team you did?
Right. Yeah. That process. I wasn't really heavily recruited coming out of high school, so I didn't understand that that's actually kind of what happens in the NFL when you're not drafted, is they start recruiting you as a free agent. And so, about the 7th round, you start getting some phone calls. Hey, if we don't draft you, we'd like you to be a free agent. Boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, the draft ends. My name's not called, and I got 10 teams just blowing me up trying to sign me. And I'm like, holy cow, I need to take a step back. And, they need to know instantly, hey, you signed with us. And I'm like, give me a minute. But they need to know, because if they don't sign, if you don't sign with them, they got to go find another guy. They might have you ranked above him, but hey, if you don't sign, we got to let this guy know. So it was wild, and like I said, everything happens for a reason. And about a year and a half when I was on the practice squad, I started second guessing if that was the right decision. I wasn't I was on the practice squad, but I wasn't necessarily on the team. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get an opportunity to see the field. But ended up working out where the Eagles, saw my preseason tape and liked what I did in college, and ended up signing me off the practice squad. So
For sure. So that was a little bit different for you as opposed to coming out of high school going to college, which is kind of a totally different dynamic.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The NFL, football's football, right? I mean,
Yeah.
There's the dimensions of football field are the same. You put pads on, you throw the ball, run the ball, tackle, whatever. But the big difference from college to NFL is just the business side of it. The money's involved.
Yeah.
And I know money's involved in college, but that's another topic. But
Yeah.
it's such a business, and I didn't understand that fully. Even when I was playing, I played 9 years, but I didn't really understand the business side of it until probably my 3rd or 4th year. I was just grinding, just trying to get opportunity, and my mindset was, if I saw the field and if I could get on the field, the money will follow. I'm not too worried about that. But it is such a business. It's such a business that has such a great impact on decisions that are made.
For sure. So you talked to us a little earlier about just grinding to get on the field. In your time at Buffalo, you won that defensive weight room MVP award. I think, was it Incognito that won offensive? But
yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that weight room? He's like,
every team does things different in the off season, to get guys fired up. And Eric Ciano, the strength coach there in Buffalo, does a phenomenal job of making guys compete, with themselves and improvement, and they do all the measurements. And so after our 8-week program, they all vote, who was the most improved or lifter of the year. And it's this combination of leadership and your numbers and how hard you're working, how hard you're pushing your teammates. And so Richie and I actually won it 2 years in a row when I was there, which I'm probably more proud of what I did off the field than the accomplishments I had on the field. I think that kind of shows the type of person a guy is how he's doing off the field.
So is that player voted or is that coach voted?
Coaches voted on that.
Gotcha. All right, so our next question we got for you is, when you spent time in Indianapolis, you were part of the Fourth Down Army, which consisted of future first ballot Hall of Famer Adam Vinatieri and Colts all-time great Pat McAfee. Could you speak on that special teams unit?
Oh, that was a special team. We took great pride in our unit and having McAfee and Vinatieri and Matt Overton is kind of being the three specialists. They took great pride in it, and you know, we had a good core group of special teams players, and I'm not sure who coined the phrase "Fourth Down Army," but it took off like a wildfire, and
For sure.
we were loving it. We were rolling that year, really. I mean, we ended up losing the AFC Championship, but we had a lot of fun that year.
We won't talk about the reasons for the loss of the championship game, Deflategate, but anyway, continue.
All right, so something that we've always wanted to know, were you ever like starstruck when meeting a player, or like speechless or something like that? Do you have a story about that?
Yeah, I remember, you know, just my first time walking into the Vikings locker room. I'm
Yeah.
like, holy cow, these are grown men in here. and then, you know, when we signed Brett Favre, I think it was our second or third weekend of training camp, and he shows up, and we got the helicopter circling our training camp. That was kind of like a holy cow moment. I'm a little starstruck and stuff. But, you know, it's funny. You meet these guys, and they're just normal people.
Yeah.
You know, with exceptional talents, and you know, they're just like you. They're just like me, and you know, they want to work hard and they want to be successful, and you know, football is their avenue to do that.
That's awesome. All right, so growing up in Butte, Tyler and I actually both participated in a football playoff game this fall. And the mentality in Butte and the atmosphere in Butte is definitely something different. So how has that Butte mentality kind of helped you get to where you are?
Sure. You know, it's just that blue-collar work ethic. You know, I think that's what Butte people pride themselves on. Whatever we do isn't necessarily fancy, but we're going to get the job done. If you tell us to do so, we're going to do it.
Exactly.
I think that's Montana as a whole, really. You know, I'm proud to be from Butte. I'm proud to be from Montana. And I think there's that great self-pride that comes from Butte and people from Montana. And we take pride in what we do, and we want to be successful and want to take care of one another. And at the end of the day, it's all about family, and that's what Butte and Montana are all about.
For sure. And if you guys are listening and you don't understand the dynamic of Butte, so there's T-shirts that you can buy in Butte that will say Butte versus everyone, or Butte versus America. And so just kind of the attitude of Butte is definitely kind of very hard-working. Exactly. And so just for you guys that maybe don't understand what that dynamic is like.
Well, it's kind of everyone pits themselves against Butte, so that I feel like we got to defend ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, it's not the prettiest with the Berkeley pit there and the old mine waste. You know, we got a bad reputation, or good, however you want to say it. You know, it'd be fighters and all that. But you know, I think we almost do stuff like that to defend ourselves, because people like to give us a bad time. At the end of the day, we're all from Montana. We're all in this together.
Exactly. So with the shirts and all that, what was the idea behind that Up Top brand that you created?
Yeah, it was, so my brother was working at Universal Athletic, and every now and then we'd make some homemade shirts, whatnot, but in college we started doing stuff, everyone was doing celebration where they jump up in the air and collide in the air. People do it like a hip bump, chest bump in the air. We just started calling it Up Top, so you point up, you do Up Top, we say Up Top, right? And so we started making a couple hats, a couple shirts, and next thing you know, our friends wanted them, so we make them for them and give them away. And then we're like, geez, maybe we should start selling some of these. Maybe we could have some success. Maybe eventually one day could do it full time and be a real job. And so that was 2010. We got our business license and figured out how to do all the legal stuff, the trademark and all that. And so it's funny how it's evolved. And my brother Luke runs that, and he does a great job. So, it just kind of has evolved. It started out really as kind of a joke, and us just having fun making shirts and hats and giving them to our friends. And next thing you know, it's kind of taken over the state and I think it's cool. It's kind of Montana's own clothing brand, so to speak. And you see it all over, so it's awesome.
For sure.
We got some awesome customers that love repping it, and they're proud of it. They're proud to wear up top because it represents Montana, where they're from, and what they do, and how they enjoy life.
I've got a couple up top shirts in my closet right now. They're awesome shirts. So if you've got a plug, like a website or Instagram handle that you want to shout out real quick, so people can find it, where would they get it at?
Yeah, you can just follow us on any social media platform, Up Top Clothing Co. And then our website is teamuptop.com. And go check us out. Appreciate you guys doing that.
Yeah, for sure. So moving on to your new coaching job, what drew you to the Bengals job, and why did you decide to get back into football?
Okay, so last year, my dad was a coach. He was my high school coach in football and baseball. And so it's kind of in my blood to be a coach.
Gotcha.
And so I said if I wasn't playing, I'd probably coach. And so after I finished playing, I took a couple of years off, really to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, because coaching is a big time commitment.
Absolutely.
And as a player it is too, but coaching's way greater. A lot more time that you got to commit to the game. And so took some time off, and then this last fall I actually volunteered at my high school, Butte High. So I was helping with the defense and some special team stuff there, and I just was finding myself spending way more time than I thought. I loved the process. I loved, helping these kids, develop on and off the field, teaching them the X's and O's, why we do this, not just telling them to do it, but explaining why we're doing it. And so just really kind of lit my fire to coach. And so after the season, I've stayed in contact with a lot of guys I met throughout my career, and I was fortunate to get an opportunity to interview with the Bengals, and it was about a 2-3 week process that I went through, and wasn't sure if I was going to get it, and ultimately they hired me. I'm grateful for the opportunity to help them. So that's kind of a long answer, but really that's why.
Is coaching something you plan to do long term?
Is it something I want to do long term?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I love just like I said, I love the game. I love helping players develop. From a physical standpoint, but mental standpoint as well. It's cool when you can see the progress from practice field, and then it translates to the field. And so I got 3 boys, and so I'd like to stay in it. I'll be coaching in some aspect for a while now.
So with coaching, you say you want to do it long term. What do you like? What's your ultimate plan? Do you want to work as like a head coach one day? Do you want to move into like the front office, or what's kind of your end goal?
Sure. I'm a competitive guy, and I want to be the best coach I can. And so I know it takes time, and I got a lot to learn. But I think it's cool to be a head coach in some capacity, or obviously I've got to be a coordinator and work my way up. But really, right now I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time, and trying to be the best assistant special teams coach I can. So
for sure. So for our last question, what is your message to those underdog kids that were like you, who were maybe under-recruited or who went undrafted? How do they go out and carry out such a successful career in the NFL like you did?
Right. I'll just say never give up. There's going to be a lot of challenges and hard times, and times that you start self-doubt. You're going to have self-doubt, but just always believe in yourself and outwork your opponent, but always outwork yourself too. Be better than your former self, which is a big deal. I think a lot of times guys get stagnant and think they're doing enough. Well, you got to look in the mirror and say, hey, maybe I need to do this. What are my weaknesses? You need to identify your weaknesses and work on those. And just never give up.
For sure. All right. So to finish it off, we've actually got a quote here from your former strength coach, Coach Gerber. He said, "In 40 years of coaching, I have never had an athlete that was more rewarding to work with than Colt. His football career is the best example of work ethic and character leading to success." So, Colt, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
And you guys. And Gerber helped me so much, and I'm forever grateful to him. And like I said earlier, just the weight room got me on the field. So I think too many times people want to see success right away, instantly, but you got to put in the time in the weight room and put in time when people are watching. And Gerber's a prime example of a guy, like a true coach that just really wants to help guys. And I mean, you guys know what kind of person he is. He's a no BS guy, and he's got a formula and it works. And so I love Gerbs.
For sure. All right, well, thank you for taking time out of your day, and good luck with Cincinnati. That's going to be, quite an exciting franchise with these picks they've got.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right, you too. All right, that about wraps it up. That was very, very clean, very good.
Yeah, fun interview. As you said, if you don't have up top clothing, all I'm saying is I've got a couple up top shirts. They're good stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in, and get ready for this draft. We'll probably maybe have another video out before it on sleepers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Take care, guys.